G'day folks. Well, I've got the beast sitting there with the car cover on. I'm not going to touch it until I've finished Rosie. So I gave myself around 12 months to complete the van build. So we're a good halfway in now. It's progressing along beautifully. I'm actually going to, when I finish the van, I'm going to pull the motor out of this because I've got a nasty leak in it. I'm suspecting it's the rear main seal. So, and I've got a cracked or broken stud on the right hand side that connects the gearbox to the engine. I run an adapter plate and it's got an offset stud on it and it's broken. So it's on the bottom of the bell housing on the transmission's the bottom bolt, and it's because the way it wants to separate, it's just cracked, it's broken the bolt. It's done it before, and I actually repaired it, but it's done it again. So I'm going to have to try and do a nicer job on this time round. So engine out for next year, and it'd be nice to check the clearances or check the bearings. And fix that rear main leak in it. And I've got a leak in my power steering rack which really needs to come out to fix it properly. It's got a damaged surface and I can't get these washers. They've got a bit of rubber, like an O-ring rubber around them. It just won't seal. So it leaks out from time to time. So it really needs to come out, and to come out it would be nice if the engine was out. It'd just make the job a lot nicer. So yeah, so that's my sort of job when I get back in here around sort of next June, next winter, is to move on with it. And then I can proceed with my engine again and my little 308 block, which I've got all the bits to redo as a spare. I've got a set of Dave Bennett heads, they are coming. I have been, not promised, but they said there'd be a couple of weeks, so it'd be nice to get them, so I can do a video and talk about them, because they're a beautiful little set of heads, in my opinion. Old school. They're not the raised port version, which I have on the motor now, but they reckon they're pretty good, so I'd like to show you them guys, and we'll have a little talk about them as well, because they'll go beautifully on my little 308, and it'll be a great little spare engine for this car. Yes, well guys, I want to show you the van, what I've been up to, and I want to actually talk about what's been going on in the world, especially in Australia. Yeah, we've got some incredible news just come to hand actually. It's a real game changer. There we go. I've done my overhead little units either side of the ceiling inside there, so we've got heaps of storage now. And I've just blanked off that spot there. That was a tricky little job to do that. It's a little bit of 7mm ply, and I just cleaned it up and painted it. So that finishes that off. So we've got full length storage now. Great. Yeah, awesome. Heaps of storage, heaps of storage. Need it, we really need it. I've fitted some nice blind surrounds. All sealed off nicely. Look at that, eh? And then if you want, you've got a nice fly screen. Wow. Awesome. Love it. Very neat and very tidy. Yes, so my next sort of job now is to run some plumbing for the shower, which I've started to play around with. I'll do the shower lining and that last. I'll probably get all the kitchen and the seat dining area done first. But I'll get the pipes run and tested before I advance any further with the lining. Yeah, so I've made up a bit of a casing. I didn't want to run it inside the wall of the van, just in case anything we had issues. Whereas this I can easily service. It doesn't protrude out too far. We're keeping the water tank inside as well, so it won't freeze if we're up in the cold mountains in sub-zero temperatures. So we've got an 80 litre tank which is going in this centre spot here, and that's the gas water unit. That's found its home there. I've got to fit that up, so that'll be my next little job, to run the vent to outside and get some plumbing sorted out for it. I've just purchased a Shore Flow pressure pump, little 12 volt one, 45 psi, really good quality for the system. And I've just purchased my battery, my lithium 200 amp hour battery, and my two charge controllers. So we have a 240 volt controller to charge, and we've got a DC one for the solar panels and the charge, or the alternator power coming from the van. So that's an Enerdrive, which is Australian. Not cheap. That was a big ticket item, that one. 3,695 for that. Comes with a little electronic, beautiful little display panel. Tell you all the diagnostics of what's going on with the charge, and yeah, very interesting, very interesting. So we're learning a lot on that. My son actually recommended that I get the Enerdrive. He's had a system in his camper and has had a lot of success with it. It's a good quality one. He has bought the cheaper versions and they failed on him. He was very to start with, and then he learnt and bought this Enerdrive. So we'll go straight to that and get a decent setup to start with. Yeah, so it's looking good. It's looking real good under there. Got plenty of room. We're going to have the gas bottles set up down here in its own little chamber, and then the vent out through the floor, so if we do get a leak, it'll there'll be no sort of, won't be escaping into the cab of the van. And we've got the diesel heater. I think at this stage we might just run it in this section here, because in this, just in this little bit here, I want to sort of have a bit of storage with a couple of doors on this, on the face here. So it's going to be good. It's going to be real good. So just take our time and just fit things up and think about it, because you know, we've got a lot of plumbing to run, a lot of wires, gas lines. So we just chip away at it, and while we're sort of moving on with other things. That's what I'm finding with this build. Don't get fixed on one particular job too much, because there's a lot of other things you've sort of got to think about as well, to be mindful of. Got some nice little lights in under there, which there we go, lovely. I had to buy an extra two on these two end here, so I've got 4 extra lights, but they're not the touch. I've got a little switch I'm going to mount in under there to just power the 2 extra ones, these ones here. But this one here's a touch one, and the rest throughout the van are all touch. I love them. 2 watts each. Really nice in here when it's all closed up. Beautiful amount of light. It's perfect. Really, really happy with it and love it. Yeah, Well, the big news, guys, is Victorian Premier Dan Andrews, he's been served with to go to court on crimes against humanity. If anyone's knows what's sort of going on and they're awake, will understand that all the governments, pretty much global governments, are corrupt as anything, and they're all going to be taken down. But to be taken down, they're being taken to court, Nuremberg, and through Nuremberg 2.0, and they will be dealt with accordingly. But Dan Andrews has been served with papers, so he now is going to have to face court, stand down. I think it's sort of I think he's going to have to face court mid-December, so another 4 or 5 weeks' time. But I'm not sure if he's actually going to step down sort of fairly immediately or hang out until such time. But he has been served, and it's end days for Dan Andrews. That's a massive, massive win for Victoria. And you wait, the dominoes will fall, and the rest of our politicians, and it'll be global too. It's not just here. This is a global event going on. So, it's incredible. All the awakened ones know that COVID's a scam. It's an absolute evil agenda, basically to get you to take the jab. So, and those who are awake, who know what the jab's all about, yeah, it's not real good. What's in it's not very nice. So I will talk about it on the next video, actually, about the old jabberoo. But for now, I'm just in shock and in elation about, you see, here's the old goat, about Dan Andrews being served. It's amazing. So times are changing now, and it's happening right now. There's no stopping it. The momentum is building, and all of this evil is going to be exposed. It's incredible, it really is. All right, guys. Well, I'll want to put a few more vids up a bit more regularly now, because I don't know. I just, I've sort of gone within myself the last sort of 6 months, 8 months, and it has changed my life, this awakening. And I had a lot of stuff to deal with, and a lot of internal stuff. But geez, I tell you what, I'm just so happy for the future now. It's just incredible. Not that I wasn't before, but knowing what I know now has really changed my life. It really has. So I think it's incredible what's going on. It really is. A lot of people are scared shitless. They're still caught up in the COVID fear, and it's just crazy. It's really crazy to see. And I hope you guys haven't succumbed to that jabberoo. I really do. It's a personal choice at the end of the day. But I've talked to my kids, whole family, my immediate family, like my kids and wife, and we're very aware, and we're sort of staying away from that sort of stuff. I'm not going anywhere near it. Our immunity is plenty strong enough to deal with what's out there, and I trust it. So, all right, guys. Well, I'd like to talk a little bit more about it on the next video, and share some actual information about what's in the jabberoo, and just bring some more information forward. I think it's time, and I'm going to grit my teeth and do it. I may get a little bit of a backlash, but I'm prepared to cop it. I'm prepared to cop it because I feel it needs to be out there now, and things are moving forward, and I'd hate for people to get stuck behind and not keep up with it all, really, because this is life's changing events going on. It's called the Great Awakening. So there's a lot of evil on this earth, and it's all being exposed right now and being dealt with, and we need to spread the information and just bring awareness. It's time to wake up, folks. That's basically what it is. All right, guys. Well, I'll pop one up soon. I'll catch you later.